Welcome to the Treasury Elite Leadership Series. I would like to thank all our viewers and members for supporting this noble cause of Treasury Elite, whose main objective is networking, knowledge sharing, and mentoring. Time and again, we bring in world class speakers and thought leaders across the world in the field of Treasury, global financial markets, management, and leadership, and conduct various programs, webinars, and conferences in such formats. Treasury Elite Leadership Series is one such format where we learn from industry thought leaders about their experiences of running their businesses, opportunities, challenges they encounter, and broad trends they see for the future. After all, we say life is too short and it's important to learn from other people's experiences. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Abhishek Goenka, founder of IFA Global and Treasury Elite. We bring in world class FX and treasury practices for companies across India over the last 15 years. And today we have Mr. Hiranand Savlani, one of the distinguished name in the CFO community. Mr. Hiranand comes from with more than 25 years of experience across various roles. He is not only a gold medalist chartered accountant rank holder and also a qualified cost accountant and a company secretary. He is the CFO of Astral Polytechnic Limited, which has grown to over 2,500 crores top line for the last 16 years with a market cap of over 16,000 crores. Hiranand has played a very critical role in 4 major acquisitions, which Astral has done in India, UK, US, for diversification into adhesive and sealant business. He has a wide exposure with the investor community in India and overseas. He has done lots of road shows with investors in India, Singapore, Hong Kong, UK, US, Europe, and deeply involved in the process of generating wealth for investors, which is a whopping number of 112 times in just 13 years. He has been pretty influential in the financial community and won various global awards for his exceptional caliber and his contribution in the world of finance, wealth creation, and investor relations. Welcome, Hiranandji. How are you doing today? Glad to have you today as a part of Treasury Elite Leadership Series. In the next 30 minutes, we will love to hear about your experiences.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm really delighted to be with you on this show. And as you know, the life is always tough in these days, but we have to accept the reality. We have to make Corona as our friend. My MD always tell us that if you are afraid from the Corona, you will not live the life. So make a Corona as your friend and live the life, and then nothing will be there. Just see that whatever the distances you can maintain, care you can do, you do it. But ultimately, you have to accept the reality that Corona will not go away from the system. It will remain with us for maybe 1, 2, 3 years. So you have to make him as a friend only.
100% right, sir. Glad to have you as a part of Treasury Elite Leadership Series. And the next 35 minutes, we'll love to hear about your experiences about running Astral. So my first question to you, Mr. Hiranandji, is we would love to know about your transition across your various roles, careers. Of course, you have told me this in the past, but 3 major learnings that you have gathered over the last many years. And if you could state that with some examples, that would be great for our viewers.
So like I completed my CA, and then I started way back in 1993 with a company called Kalpataru Power. And there I being appointed as assistant manager cost and finance. So the biggest learning I did in that company was handling the 13 different banks. So the biggest basic transaction level banking I learned from that company. So that was a great help, I can say, from that company, that being a chartered accountant, you should learn the basic things of the finance. If you don't know the basic things of the finance, taking the decision making at a senior level is not possible for you. So I learned the basic things, and I was handling 13 different banks. I learned a lot in that organization. After that, I moved to a smaller company into the dyes and chemical called Dynamic Industries Limited. So there my role was different. Banking was of course there, which I learned in Kalpataru. But here my additional role being given that I was taking care of the complete financial operation, accounting, and the legal side, because then by the time I completed my company secretary and the cost accountancy ICW also. I've been given the role of costing also. I've been given a role of finance also, even the legal side also, and that company came into the IPO. So I handled the complete post-IPO formality with the stock exchanges, SEBI and all. So there I learned a different thing. What I learned in the Kalpataru was not repeated over there. And another best part I learned in the organization, that is the import-export department. I was the heading the import-export department. Normally, you never find that any chartered accountants or finance heads are handling import-export department. But I used to handle each and every pin to piano, I can say, into the export and import department. So that was the added advantage to me working with that organization. Then I moved to a company called Apparel LLC Group that was based in Dubai. So there, whatever I learned in my 5-6 years of experience in these two companies was completely wiped out. And the Dubai was completely a different era and different way of working style. So there I learned a lot into the systemic approach. How you can do the business is sitting in the office through the system. So the ERP system, SAP system, I used to see the softwares, many companies software, Navision, Retail Pro, and JD Edward. So many software I used to see and started working on that, because retail business is totally different. And we were having the stores in all the malls of Dubai. So that was a totally a different experience. And then my role was to give the training to the floor level people in terms of finance side and in terms of inventories and all, because there the most of the transaction was taking place through credit card. So I used to give the training into the credit card, and I used to handle the team working from a different countries. Almost 13 different countries people were working in our organization. So that was another unique experience I learned, and thereby I developed the skill of communication, which was missing in me. And so that was a very unique experience. But unfortunately, because of my family constraint, I have to leave Dubai and back to the Ahmedabad after working 2 years. But that 2 years helped me a lot, and I can't miss these 2 years of my journey, which was perhaps changed my entire career. Because biggest thing is the system, because if you learn the system, software and on, then you can do the scalability of business very fast. So that is what the approach I learned from that. And now then I joined the Astral Group in 2003. That time the company's top line was just 15 crore. And now you can see from 15 crore journey to close to about 3,000 crore journey. In that journey, all my past experience of all the company I added. And here I used to handle P&L, balance sheet, financing, IPO, QIP, acquisitions, mergers, overseas acquisition, you name it, everything task I've been able to handle in this company. So I can say that my journey is excellent so far. The biggest three things you ask me, what you learn in this journey, I think I learned that if you want to sit at the top level, then the understanding of basic things of respective department is very important. If you understand how the execution is taking place in individual department, whether it is purchase, whether it is sales, or whether it's production, then I think you can take the decision very fast and very quickly. So this is the biggest learning I learned during this years of experience. Secondly, what I learned during this journey, that you have to take a risk. If you don't take the risk, you can't take the decision. So you have to always develop an ability to take a risk. So that is what I learned during this journey, that I have to take the decision. And for that, I have to be mentally prepared for the criticism also. Because when you are taking a decision as a leader, not necessary that all your decision will be right. Sometimes it may be wrong also. For that, you have to be mentally prepared. So you should be always ready for the criticism. And the third, which I learned, the biggest thing I can say, that every professional should develop this thing, that is the ownership feeling. If you keep yourself in the shoes of owner and take the decision, I think most of the things will be done. So any decision you are taking, bring the ownership feeling into that, then I'm sure you will be done. So this is the biggest three things I learned during my entire journey.
That's amazing. I remember some 7-8 years back, you shared with me that when Astral was very new as a firm, and when you came from Dubai, you bought into the vision of the promoters, even though it was a risk taking from your side many years back. But it was the vision and the ownership which actually brought it together, and then you joined the firm. And then it has been a long journey post that.
Yeah, that's true.
So, what are the technological changes that you're seeing in the industry, sir? And how is Indian companies adopting to that? I mean, there is one thing that Indian companies should prepare what would be that thing, say, in the next 5 years?
I think technology is must for every organization to grow and scale up. Without technology, you can't grow or you can't make a scalable organization. So technology is must. And Astral is known for that technology. And if you see our punchline or a tagline, I can say for the company is where innovation flows. So that is what we believe. And technology is in our DNA. You will be surprised to know that Astral has brought many products first time in the country. So today, Astral is known for the CPVC leadership position, but actually it is not like that. Today, the contribution of CPVC is hardly 35% of my revenue. 65% of the thing is coming from other. But yes, we are known because we were the first company to introduce CPVC in the Indian plumbing system. That's why we are known as the CPVC company. But it is not only CPVC, but we were the company who first and bring the lead-free PVC. India was using the lead-based pipe, and lead is not good for the human health. But in the country like India, where the question of bread and butter is there, who care about the hygienic things? So we brought first time the lead-free PVC into the Indian plumbing system. And after that, we brought first time in the country again is the foam core pipe, that is the drainage pipe. So that was also a unique product. And now many companies are copying Astral and they are also selling. So most of the companies are copying Astral and they are following the Astral's vision of bringing the new technology into the system. And after that, I think we brought few more products into the system like low noise pipe, fire sprinkler pipe. So all these things, I think we brought first time in the country. So technology is the, I can say, DNA of our company. And it's not only technology in terms of the product quality and all this thing, but we always try to do something innovative into the every area which we work. So like I can tell you the branding concept in the piping industry was brought by Astral. No company was doing any branding in India for the pipe category. So we were the first company, and not only branding, but we brought the celebrity into the branding. So the Salman Khan we brought into the system. So this is the basically my point of view is that you have to think something different all the time. You have to take the support of the technology also, and then you have to continuously do something innovative so that you can scale up every time. Any specific kind of area you work and after that you live it, I don't think you can scale up that thing. And with the technology and all this thing, I think quality is also very important for any organization to be a brand, because you can sell the product. But if you want to become a brand, then quality of the product is very, very important. Unfortunately, with regret, I have to say very few companies in the plumbing segment are giving the quality product to India. Most of the people are not following the quality standards also prescribed by whether ISI or maybe ASTM standards and what in our piping industry. But we always believe in our quality. Our MD always say, don't look at the profitability and all this thing. Always give the right product to the market. And that will take you to the next height. And that is only the success mantra for a long term for any brand. If you maintain that thing, you will be always at the top. So I think innovations and quality is required for any company's growth.
That's a very, very useful and a very important thought, I would say, sir. In fact, a lot of people don't know that the first 3 years of Astral was heavily into losses, where they invested heavily on the product development and improvisation, because people were not ready to accept the concept of PVC pipes, for plumbing business, etc. Am I right, sir?
Yes, absolutely. We were on the verge of bankruptcy.
Yes.
We were supposed to close down the company. But thanks to our American partner who supported us, and we started our second journey, I can say.
That's amazing.
My entry came into the company. I came in 2003, and from 2003 onward, you see that we are luckily touched wood. God is grace to us. We are into the profitability side of the company. Otherwise, we were making losses only.
So you don't enjoy the front end unless you have a back end. So since you have seen the back end, now you are enjoying the front end.
Yes.
Both
is very important. Working on front end, then you have to see always the back end also.
It's a very interesting point that you touched upon is on the celebrity endorsement. I know there was a lot of hesitation when you got Salman Khan as one of your brand ambassadors, and later on now you have graduated with Ranveer Singh and Varun Dhawan. So, how has this celebrity branding helped you in terms of the overall brand value and growth for the firm, and how have people related these brands with Astral?
So see, if you do branding, branding is done by every company. It is nothing new concept that we are doing. But people have never ever given the importance of plumbing in India. People always feel that pipe is commodity. That is the general perception in the market, that the pipe is a commodity. We are the company first time educated the community or the stakeholder. You can say that pipe is not a commodity. It's a special product. I can give you with an example that you use best of the best quality cement, you use best of the best quality paint, you use best of the best quality of tile. But if pipe get leakage, what will happen to these best quality? Nothing. Because ultimately these pipes are behind the wall. So you have to
Lifeline.
break the wall, and then everything will be waste. Your cement will be waste, your tiles will be waste. So plumbing is very, very important element in the building material category. But it is unfortunate that all the previous company never ever tried to educate the community the importance of the plumbing. You will be
Yeah.
surprised to know that Astral is the first company in the country who started giving education to the plumbers. No company in India has given the education to the plumber. We were the first company who started giving education to the plumber. We started giving presentation to the architects, builders, and all these contractors and all these people to understand the importance of the quality. Because you are saving 4-5%. The gap between quality and non-quality is hardly 5-7%, or maybe in some cases 10%. But for that, you are taking what a risk. It's a huge risk you are taking, because pipe is behind the wall. You don't know when it will get leakage. So for that, I think branding was very much important for us. That first time we bring the concept of leakage-free pipe through our branding campaign, and then the Salman Khan and all dropped in. So the advantage which we took, that we can't reach each and every corner of the country without celebrity, because you can do branding with anybody, but if the known face is there, people will recognize you very fast. So you can reach each and every corner of the country, because India is a very vast country. So to reach at the masses, then you need some credentiable, I can say, face who can take you to that level. So the journey of branding with Salman Khan is an extraordinary journey, I can say. Today, we are very happy that our product is known at each and every corner of the country.
In fact, I think it was a very, very strong brand that you had developed, help you with Salman Khan, take it to the second 2 tier, 3 tier cities, which was getting difficult. But then with the Dabang and with the Salman Khan cloud, I think people started recognizing the brand even well.
That's true.
So
That's true.
you have done a wonderful job in terms of maintaining quality and brand. Now, being a Gujarati and financial innovation is in the blood. So I want to know from you 2 or 3 examples of financial innovation or transformation that your company has undertaken under your leadership, which added a significant addition to your EBIT. I mean, 1 to 3% or to your EBIT. Any thoughts on what kind of financial innovation or any transformation that you did? It will be very useful to people who are hearing.
So I think financial improvement is the consistency is required into that. It's a continuous exercise, I can say. Today, what is the good product available in the market may not be necessary. The same financial product will be available next year in the market. So it's a continuous exercise, and you have to keep evaluating that which is best for your organization. I remember this foreign currency loan in the form of buyer's credit. We started in 2006. Okay, that time hardly that concept was popular in the market, but I came from the Dubai and all these things, so I was knowing that the differential interest rate is very high in dollar terms and the rupee terms. Okay, so even after considering your annual depreciation of 3-4%, then also that product was cheaper compared to the traditional product of India we used to borrow, whether it's the CC or maybe a WCDL or any kind of thing. So I introduced that concept into that, and then we seen that every year we were saving few percentage point into that thing. And similarly, I think for any organization, I think hedging is very important for any success. If when you are going into the foreign currency side, so in Lehman Brothers crisis, we learn another story that never ever believe in the views of any of the consultant, because consultant never give you the right views. They always talk double language. They will tell you this will happen, then the rupee will appreciate, and this will happen, then the rupee will depreciate. Actually speaking, they don't know when the rupee is going to appreciate and when the rupee is going to depreciate. Actually, so many variables are there which is affecting the currency movement, which I think very, very difficult for any person to understand. And to be honest, I am not an expert into the currency side. So I can't claim that I am an expert into that area. So my views will be right. So then we develop a practice in the organization that we should always be having a consistent policy in the organization. And based on that policy, you have to work. You don't borrow any views, because views may be right for a temporary period, but it can be absolutely wrong if something event may happen. So we started hedging into the near term, that would make the policy in the organization, and we started keeping the open for the long positions. Of course, now that is not much relevant because now we don't have any ECBs or anything kind of in the system. But when we started that journey, that time it was very important to save the interest costs and all this thing. Now hardly any interest we are bearing, because now the company at the net level is a debt free. So that concept is not much relevant. But yes, still we have the import element sizable in the system. So we always believe in consistency of the policy, so that upside also will be available to you, downside will be also. So you will always be at an average. You never ever think that I will make money out of Forex. That is what my chairman tell me every time in the board meeting. That Hiranandji, my chairman is a very learned guy. He has worked in many positions and he has worked in RBI also. So he always tell me that Hiranandji, the day you'll make profit in currency, I think you are doing something wrong. So you being an importer, you have to pay the premium. So there is no reason that you make profit. If you are making profit, that means you are playing something. So always consider import company as a hedge kind of view. Never ever try to make a profit. So always be a rational, and you should always keep in mind that you should keep your position covered as far as the board policy is concerned. So we simply follow that policy so that upside is also available, downside is always, we will always be at an average. He always said another word, our business is pipe, not our business is Forex. We should always make money out of selling pipe, not by doing anything wrong or right into the foreign currency side. So we always strictly follow that, and we are happy that in some quarter it may a little bit loss, but in some quarter profit is there. So we always get the average rate. So we are very happy into that side.
In fact, you rightly said that no one can predict the market. Means I have been in the business for like 15 years, and consistently I tell them that if there is someone who's telling you that he knows he can forecast the market, either he is telling a lie or he is not realizing that he is telling a lie. Because it's not possible to know the future. Nobody can know the future.
Correct.
In fact, the way the professional companies, and since you touched this point, the way the professional companies have gone through the learning curve, they have a very, very clear analysis of stress testing, scenario analysis, and an impact on EBIT, no matter whether the currency goes 20% up or 20% down, which nobody can predict. I mean, 3 months back, as you said, the entire market was extremely bearish on the rupee, and suddenly because of these humongous flows, everybody is getting very optimistic on the rupee. So who knows? But as you rightly said, as the management says, that if you know exactly based on value at risk that what is your downside and what is your upside clearly, and what is going to be an impact on your profitability, and if you can absorb that, then you are good to go. So that's the approach. I think
another good thing I can tell you that we have developed in the organization, we being a net importer or maybe a foreign currency loan borrower. So we always see that whenever rupee appreciate by 2% or 1.5%, we simply start covering heavily, because we have learned from this 10-15 years of experience My experience with Astral itself is from 2003 to 2020, so 17 years of experience. We learned very simple thing that our country is a deficit country, so our rupee has to depreciate because there is an interest arbitrage between US dollar and Indian rupee. So whenever rupee get appreciated by 1%, 2% or 3%, we should heavily cover our position. Very, very simple rule. Whenever rupee appreciate, any day when the rupee appreciate 40 paisa or 30 paisa or 50 paisa, my treasury always cover. My treasury doesn't ask any consultant. My treasury never talk to any banker. My treasury even don't ask to me also. Simply guideline is being whenever rupee appreciate, you just cover because we have to make money from the business, not from this. Again, I am repeating. So we always try to see if we have covered up because our cost maybe yesterday it was 75.5 and today 75.20. 30 paisa gain is there. So yesterday whatever I have sold at 75.5 costing. Today I am covering so 75. So 30 paisa I am saving. So ultimately it's going to improve my EBITDA only. So very simple rule. Whenever rupee appreciate, we keep covering and keep covering.
It's very nice that you understand that there is no free lunch. If there is a forward premium, there is a reason why there is a forward premium.
Absolutely, you rightly pointed out.
Correct. So, last question to you, sir. This is about culture. Culture is so important for any company. How do you maintain a spirit of competitiveness without combativeness and aggression in your organization? How do you bring consistency in the way organization think? I mean, I know that your founder, Mr. Sandeep Engineer, has been a very, very positive person, a very cool-headed and optimistic person who believes in simplicity and delegation. Tell us a little bit more about the culture of Astral.
So I think culture is basically a DNA for any organization. And normally, if you see a promoter-driven company at the beginning stage, and then it ultimately converts into the professional culture. But any company in the beginning of the journey is always a promoter-driven company. So normally, that culture comes from the promoter family only, because they have started the business. So they have worked in a certain style and they have created a certain culture. And I am sure that culture will continue for a longer period because that culture from MD to comes to the CFO or CEO level, and then it goes to the managerial level, and then it goes to the down level. So normally that is the way culture spread within the organization. You rightly said that my MD Sandeep Engineer is always believe in down the earth culture only. So in our organization, we have a very, very free brainstorming culture that when we seniors sit in the boardroom, we can discuss anything, we can disagree with anybody, including my MD also. And he always take it very positively. But once we take the decision, then everybody on the same platform. So at the stage of brainstorming, we can cross-fire each other also. But once the decision is taken, then everybody has to agree with that thing. And secondly, culture which he has developed in the organization, which is the very best culture I can say, is the open cabin culture. That every staff member or any colleague or any departmental head want to meet anybody, he can straightway move to his cabin. No permission is required, no appointment is required. Straightway you go to his cabin, discuss with him and get things done. So there is no MNC kind of culture that you send mail, I will reply you on the mail. No, nothing like that. Mail and everything is there. We also work on the mail. It's not that we are not working on the mail. But whenever you feel that these things, I have to sort it out immediate basis, simply stand up, go to his cabin and get it work done. So we save a lot time to the down the line people by working in this way. And that culture is working very well. And I am thankful to my MD that he has cultivated that culture among all of us. So now everybody follow that culture. So basically, I tell you that the culture comes from the top bosses and the management side. Secondly, now the competitiveness and all this thing, that is always there because when you are working, there are two kinds of competitiveness I can say. One is the internal and another the external side. There is always a competition within department also. Finance people feel that they are always right. Marketing people feel that they are always right. And finance people are restricting us. And the same way production people say that we are producing so much, but the marketing people are not selling. So that fight will always go on. But within that, the role of the senior or the role of a leader is to balance out. That's very important. Because every time everybody's budget cannot be right. Because you are working under so many parameters, so many external factors are affecting on your performance. So every time your budget cannot be right. So sometimes sale will be more, production will be less. Sometimes production will be more, sale will be less. Sometimes finance people commit something and because of lower sales or whatever, they cannot give you the budget also. So this fight will keep continue. And this is the ongoing exercise that every company has to pass through that. But as far as you have a healthy relationship within the departmental heads, I think the problem is solved. So we, in our company, we follow simply culture that every beginning of the month, we all sit on the same table and discuss the budget of the company. So every department know what the other department is thinking, so that afterward nobody has a complaint that you don't tell this, you didn't give me this. We openly share. We spend 1 hour within the team. Every departmental head will be there, so everybody know what is your task for this one. So I don't think any problem will be there into that. But yes, being a human working within the organizations, sometimes it happens. And secondly, the outsider. One thing is the insider and the outsider. Outside also, I think we should always keep your eyes open. Whatever the best practice is, even your competitor is following, you should adopt. Nothing to shy away. I can tell you that in our industry, whenever the PVC price goes up, our legacy systems of company have developed a very nice practice to pass on to the market immediately in 1 or 2 days. So we simply followed that practices. Though it is not developed by our company, but it is the best practice is that whenever price goes up, you pass on to the market. Whenever price goes down, you pass on to the market. So whenever there is a good practice of any competitor, you should adopt that also, and always keep eyes that what your competitors are doing and understand that out of that, whatever the best is there, try to implement that. Otherwise, we have a very strong young brigadier with us who always think something different in the market. And we try to always be a different in the market. So that exercise will always continue. But that doesn't mean that the competitor is doing something good, we should ignore them also. We should respect them also. Basically, we should learn whatever the good practices are there in the market, whether you develop yourself or somebody else teach you. But you should adopt in your life. And that is how we can grow fast.
So mutual respect within teams and a flat culture is what Astral is all about.
Absolutely,
and of course,
absolutely.
Learning from the outside world, despite the fact whether it's a competitor of any external body, is something that Astral swears by. So it's been a really candid conversation with you, sir. Thanks for speaking your heart out. I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you, and you have shared a lot of interesting thoughts about leadership, management, systems, processes, and message for young entrepreneurs and young CFOs and finance people. I'm sure all the people who are watching would make maximum use of your experience and your thoughts today. Thank you so much. I wish the entire Astral family all the very best going forward. May you able to stay strong and stronger as ever, and stronger as Astral in the journey going forward.
Thank you very much for inviting
Lovely.
me for this show.